Hey everyone, welcome to the Espresso. Thank you so much for joining, whether you are watching live, after the event, YouTube, Spotify, all of that cool stuff. Thank you so much. Do not forget to subscribe, and we've got a wonderful newsletter, which is super cool. Anyway, I wanted to chat today about why it's so hard to transition or change careers. I speak with loads and loads of folks, and people find it difficult. They want to change, they want to do something different. There's a great book actually called The 100-Year Working Life, and it's worth reading. And the premise is that, we're going to be working for a long time, we're going to be living for a long time, and people will have like 3 careers in their lives, something like that. After 20 years of doing something, you want to do something different, or you need a new lease of life or energy and stuff. And very many people are the same. So there's a drive and a desire for people to want to do different stuff and continue to learn and develop, but it's difficult to, imagine, and it's just hard. It's hard to change sectors. It's hard to do a completely different job. Certainly if you're hoping to maintain your earnings and things like that. And hey, some people can't afford to change careers, like economics plays a part. I think it's also, there's a few different things. I'm going to talk a little bit about hiring managers and then talk a little bit about what an individual can do to put themselves in the best position to change careers. But if you put yourself, if you're a hiring manager and you're hiring someone, you don't want to make a bad hire, right? Like, as in, your CEO comes knocking and says, hey, this person's not quite worked out. Why did you hire them? They're not even from our sector. They're not from a rival firm. They haven't done the job before. There's all these questions, and certainly in difficult times, people go and make a perceived safe hire. Like, hiring is a little bit about risk, right? Like, are you willing to take a risk on someone, or how much of a risk are you willing to take on someone? And a lot of people, they feel safe that, of course, they've done the job, or they've worked in a similar firm. Of course I'm going to hire them. Like, why would I not hire them? So there's all that is running around people's minds. But of course we know, just because someone's done a job before, it doesn't mean they're any good at it, or they'll be any good at it again. So, there's all that stuff, but that is real. Like, people really feel that, they don't want to make a bad hire. They don't want to be out the door. So you're certainly up against that. But there are certain things that you can do, many things you can do to put yourself in a great scenario to transition and change career. Or even if you're, I don't know what the stats are, but there's many people doing side hustles, and they're hesitant. A lot of people are hesitant to quit their career to pursue the side hustle full time. They're hesitant to quit, try something different. They're hesitant to take a job that's perceived to be like lower down the ladder. They're hesitant to take a pay cut. Some people can't take a pay cut. So it's not a simple decision. And certainly when you're a bit further on in your career and you're earning good money and you've invested, let's say you've been in the game for 20 years, and like a lot of industries, and mine's a great example, like in exec search, recruiting, the longer you're in the game for, the better. Like, the more friends you make, the more relationships you have, you have a better track record, more folks, more stuff, you can advise people on their careers and things. So, it's not an easy decision to move, but if you're not happy and you need a fresh lease of life and stuff, it might be the only decision you've got. Like, you need to move and you need to change career. And so, to put yourself in the best position, think about like why you want to change. Number one thing, just sit down and just think about it. What is it? What's the driver? Is it you're not happy? Is it you've hit a lull? You're in a rut. You need to change things up. You need to learn. Then think about what you're going to do about it, and like, what's the target? Like, when do you want to make that change? And so I think think through those things. I spoke with a great exec coach a few years ago, and we talked a little bit about why it's so hard to change, and she coaches people on their careers, and many people would come and be like, I really want to change careers, I don't know how to do it. I speak to like thousands of folks on the front line of recruiting, if there is a front line of recruiting, and many people just they want to change. They want to change things up. So there's a lot of people in the same scenario as you. I would do a few things, and social media technology is great for learning. You can jump on and you can learn stuff, and you can do courses on things. There's loads of MOOCs, massive online learning communities. A lot of them are free, some are paid. You can go to university again. You can do a master's, an MBA, but whatever it is that you want to change into. Think about like, how can you start to acquire the skills and learn stuff? Can you do any paid, or if you can afford it, unpaid work experience? Do you know any folks that are working in the jobs that you want to do? And drop them a note, have a chat. LinkedIn's such a great platform. Like, you can jump on, you can search in the search bar for people that you want to speak with, like, I don't know, CFOs in insurance, or data scientists, or whoever it is that you want to speak with. Put it in the search bar, press people, it will sort for the folks, and then you can just drop them a note. And you'd be surprised at how many people will respond to you when you ask for help. Would you mind having a virtual coffee with me for 20 minutes? Would you mind giving me a little bit of advice on how you've got to where you've got to? And it's really wonderful, and you never know what might happen. And you go hard on that. It's virtual networking. It's the virtual cocktail party. You don't even have to leave your house. You can speak with anyone in the world. Just drop them a note and ask. And when you start asking, really cool things start to happen. So definitely do that. And the other thing is, start to generate some content, follow people, again, in the industry you want to get into, like their stuff, comment, contribute to the conversation. And so there's some of the ways that you can actually like make it happen. Because, before all of this stuff, it was way harder, I think. Now you can do stuff, you can acquire the skills, you can think about who you want to connect with. There are people willing to give people a chance and take a perceived risk on people. So, I think the message for me is like, many people in the same scenario, and there are a lot of things that you can do that are proactive to start to move yourself to where you want to get to. And of course, there are many people that don't want to take a risk on folks. And yes, it's hard to change careers and transition and things like that. But do not let that deter you. There are many people that give people a chance in this world. And there's many things you can do to put yourself in a good position. So hope that's helpful. Any more questions on that, just drop me a DM, connect with me. Super happy to send you some info and any other help that I can provide. Thanks for listening. Do not forget to subscribe in all the usual places. Have a good one. See ya.